It is the last week of the regular season, CAA fans. I'm Bobby Broyles along with Rob Washburn for CAA Hoops Weekly presented by Under Armour. We are excited and ready to get you set for what should be a thrilling finish to the end of the regular season, and all roads lead to Baltimore 1 week from Friday.
Yep, 1 week to go in the regular season, and none of the 10 seeds have been determined for the CAA Men's Basketball Championship. Now, UNCW continues to play well and remains in first place at 13-3, but Hofstra's reeled off 4 consecutive victories to move within a game of the Seahawks at 12-4. There's a 3-way tie for third place between James Madison, Towson, and William & Mary at 10-6, and 3 other teams are fighting for the 6th spot in an opening round bye. Now, not only are the standings tight as we come down the stretch, but the games are too. 7 of the 10 games last week were decided by 5 points or less, and 9 of the 10 teams won at least one game, but 9 teams also suffered at least one loss. We're setting the stage for a lot of drama this week.
Absolutely. Let's get to the big one on Thursday night as the 2 top teams in the standings square off in Wilmington as UNCW welcomes Hofstra to Trask for a 7 o'clock tilt on CA.TV. A win for the Seahawks, and they clinch the top seed and regular season title, Rob.
Yeah, what a fun matchup this is going to be between the 2 hottest teams in the conference. UNCW's won 12 of its last 13 games, while Hofstra's won 4 in a row and 8 of its last 10. When they met at Hofstra on February 4th, the Pride jumped out to a 20-point first half advantage before the Seahawks came roaring back and won it 70-67 on Denzel Ingram's three-pointer with 4 seconds to play. Now, these are 2 of the top offensive teams in the league with weapons all over the floor. UNCW relies heavily on its talented perimeter players led by junior Chris Flemings, Denzel Ingram, and freshman guard C.J. Bryce, who poured in a team-high 24 points in the first matchup. Now, Hofstra counters with senior point guard Wanye Green, wing Amin Tanksley, and double-double machine Rokas Gustis, who's contributing almost 17 points and 15 rebounds a game in CAA play. I'm sure Trask Coliseum will be rocking, and this is a game that should go down to the wire.
Yes, indeed. Another big game on Thursday night at 8 on Comcast Sportsnet as JMU travels to Towson.
Yeah, as we mentioned in the open, these teams are tied for third place at 10-6 and are battling for position down the stretch. The Dukes picked up a 73-59 victory over the Tigers back on January 9th by turning in one of their best defensive efforts of the season. Now, both of these teams are very physical, so rebounding will be a key stat to watch, but they both also have the ability to score. JMU's led by senior point guard Ron Curry, who's averaging a league-best 19 points per game in CAA play, and the Dukes inserted sophomore guard Joey McClain into the starting lineup last week, and he responded with a pair of double-digit efforts. Now, Towson's attack is spearheaded by forward William Adalamoto, who's averaging 15 points and 9 rebounds in CAA play, and junior John Davis has been playing his best basketball of the year over the past several weeks. I'm expecting a much closer game this time around.
Staying with the Tigers as they will have to quickly turn around and travel to Wilmington to take on UNCW at 1 o'clock Saturday on CA.TV.
Yeah, these teams haven't met since all the way back on January the 2nd, and it was all Tigers as they rolled to a 76-60 victory. Towson out-rebounded UNCW 43-25 in that game and outscored the Seahawks 29-15 at the free throw line, leading Kevin Keats to say that the Tigers simply out-toughed them. Now, both of these teams like to use their defense to put pressure on opponents, and they get out in transition for easy buckets. With all that could potentially be on the line for these teams on Saturday, I'd expect a game that is played at a very high level between 2 squads that certainly will be in contention to cut down the nets in Baltimore next week.
We wrap up our previews on Saturday with an in-state matchup as JMU welcomes William & Mary to the Convocation Center for a nationally televised contest on the NBC Sports Network at 2:30.
Yeah, these teams enter the week tied in the standings, and again, it will be the last tune-up for 2 squads who have their sights set on playing for a CAA championship in Baltimore. Now, when they met in Williamsburg on January 31st, it was a tale of 2 halves. JMU came out on fire, hitting 7 threes in the first half to open up an 18-point lead. But it was all Tribe in the second half as they shut down the Dukes' attack and shot 56% over the final 20 minutes to post a 68-62 victory. Now, we talked earlier about JMU's strong backcourt of Curry and McClain, but William & Mary is also strong on the perimeter with Omar Pruitt, who scored 20 or more points in 5 of his last 6 contests, and point guard David Cohn, who's averaging 13 points and 6 assists in CAA play. Both of these teams have plenty of firepower, but it's the team that defends the best that I think will come out on top in this one.
Now here's a look at the rest of this week's action around CAA men's basketball.
March Madness is coming, and it all starts in Baltimore. The 2016 CAA Men's Basketball Championship is back at the Royal Farms Arena March 4 through 7. Take advantage of the weekend with a money-saving fan pack. You'll receive a room at your choice of hotels, 2 harbor passes, 2 admissions to the Power Plant Live Fan Fest, and an opportunity to purchase discount tickets for the championship. Experience March Madness. Experience Baltimore. Find your fan pack now at baltimore.org.
CASports.com has all the television clearance information you need for this week, and CASports.com will also have all the information you need regarding links to live stats, video, and audio coverage for a very important week, Rob.
Yep, you can also continue to follow the league on Facebook and Instagram by searching CA Sports. We're also on Twitter at CA Basketball using the hashtag CA Hoops.
This Thursday night will be the last opportunity to head over to Buffalo Wild Wings at the Columbia location in Columbia, Maryland for CSN's doubleheader coverage, beginning at 6 with Delaware at Drexel, followed by JMU at Towson. Join us for an evening of CA basketball, have fun meeting other CA and college basketball fans, and win some prizes such as tickets to the upcoming CA Men's Basketball Championship, which of course is right around the corner.
Yep, no better way to get prepared for the tournament than a doubleheader of CA Hoops with friends over some food and drinks at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes, indeed. Kelly McCarthy returns Thursday for the women's edition of CA Hoops Weekly, powered by Under Armour. Make sure to tune in. Enjoy the final week of the regular season.